the headlines of this hour on VTV News. Party chief welcomes overseas Vietnamese returning home for Homeland Spring 2025. And later on, Vietnam targets 8% economic growth in 2025.
Broadcasting from Hanoi, the capital of Vietnam. VTV News starts right now.
Good morning. It is 8 a.m. local time in Hanoi, and you're watching VTV News Live. I'm Huyen Trân with the top stories. Party General Secretary Tô Lâm hosted a reception on Sunday for 100 overseas Vietnamese representatives from more than 40 countries and territories who are attending the 2025 Xuân Quê Hương or Homeland Spring, organized by the State Commission for Overseas Vietnamese. He praised the overseas Vietnamese community's contributions, noting their expanding presence and enduring connections to their homeland. He expressed pride in their achievements in business and academia, as well as their role in strengthening Vietnam's international relationships. Speaking about the nation's future, he outlined his vision of a prosperous and strong Vietnam, united under party leadership. He also acknowledged the vital role overseas Vietnamese play in the country's development. The overseas representatives in turn expressed gratitude for the party and state's support and reaffirmed their commitment to Vietnam's continual progress. State President Lương Cường and nearly 100 overseas Vietnamese offer incense at Kính Thiên Palace in the Thăng Long Imperial Citadel, Hanoi on Sunday, to honor the nation's predecessors who dedicated their lives to national construction and defense. The event was part of the Homeland Spring 2025 program, an annual celebration jointly organized by the State Committee for Overseas Vietnamese and the Hanoi People's Committee. The delegation prayed for Vietnam's peace, prosperity, and success before participating in a carp releasing ceremony at President Ho Chi Minh's fish pond in the Presidential Palace complex. National Assembly Chairman Trần Thanh Mẫn met with 100 overseas Vietnamese who returned home for the 2025 Homeland Spring program on the same day. He highlighted Vietnam's development achievements in 2024 and praised the overseas Vietnamese community's vital contributions, including remittances of $16 billion. He emphasized their unbreakable bond with the nation and outlined how the party and state support them through new laws and policies. The National Assembly chairman called on experts, intellectuals, and the 6 million overseas Vietnamese to contribute their knowledge to national development, policymaking, and international relations. He also encouraged the community to preserve and promote Vietnamese cultural values. The Homeland Spring 2025 program held in Hanoi on Sunday celebrated patriotism, solidarity, and national pride with the theme Vietnam Rising in a New Era. Through performances by renowned artists, the event blended traditional and modern elements to create a festive spring atmosphere. The program showcased national unity while highlighting the important role of overseas Vietnamese in the country's development. Prime Minister Phạm Minh Chính arrived in Prague on Saturday night Vietnam time with his spouse and a high-ranking Vietnamese delegation, beginning his official visit to the Czech Republic. More to follow.
The Prime Minister and his entourage were welcomed at the airport by the Permanent Deputy Minister of Foreign Affairs of the Czech Republic and the Czech Ambassador to Vietnam. The visit marks 75 years of relations and begins a new chapter of cooperation between the two countries. Currently, the Czech Republic is Vietnam's leading trade partner in Central and Eastern Europe, while Vietnam is the Czech Republic's top partner in ASEAN.
During a meeting with Katerina Konenka, chairwoman of the Communist Party of Bohemia and Moravia, Prime Minister Phạm Minh Chính proposed both sides increase delegation exchanges, share theoretical and practical knowledge, and work on party-building efforts. He also called on the Czech government to implement more favorable visa policies for Vietnamese citizens. Chairwoman Koneka pledged to advocate for the EU to quickly ratify the EVIPA agreement and for the European Commission to lift the yellow card on Vietnamese seafood.
In a meeting with Milos Kusi, chairman of the Czech-Vietnam Friendship Association, Prime Minister Pham Minh Chinh urged the association to strengthen bilateral relations to make them more meaningful and effective. Chairman Kusi, whose wife is Vietnamese, expressed his deep affection for Vietnam. He highlighted the significance of former Prime Minister Pham Van Dong's 1957 visit to the Czech Republic and expressed confidence that Prime Minister Pham Minh Chinh's current visit would usher in a new phase in bilateral relations.
And also during his official visit to the Czech Republic, Prime Minister Phạm Minh Chính met with leaders of major Czech corporations, as well as embassy staff and the Vietnamese community in the Czech Republic.
In a conversation with Pavel Tkach, owner of 7 Global Investments, Prime Minister Phạm Minh Chính praised the company's sustainable investment decision, particularly its capital transfer at Mong Duong 2 thermal power plant. The Prime Minister urged the company to complete the transfer procedures promptly while following all laws and investment regulations. During his meeting with the chairman of Skoda Auto, the Czech Republic's largest car manufacturer, currently partnering with Than Cong Group to produce and distribute Skoda vehicles, Vietnam's Prime Minister highlighted that Vietnam offers incentives for investors who commit to high-tech transfer, large-scale investment, and support of Vietnamese businesses in the value chain. The senior government leader also met with leaders of PPF Group and Home Credit Group from the financial services sector. After reviewing PPF's proposals, he directed relevant authorities to process the capital transfer plan at Home Credit Vietnam. The senior government leader also met with leaders of PPF Group and Home Credit Group.
Also, during his meeting with the embassy and the Vietnamese community in the Czech Republic, Prime Minister Pham Minh Chinh revealed that this visit aimed to elevate relations between the two countries and mark 75 years of diplomatic ties. In response to the community's proposals, he affirmed support for amending the law on nationality and enhancing aviation connections between the two countries. He emphasized that the embassy must maintain close communication, offer timely guidance, and continue supporting the Vietnamese community abroad.
Meeting with 10 prominent Vietnamese businesses in the Czech Republic and Europe, the Prime Minister urged them to help strengthen business connections through supply chains. He also encouraged them to offer suggestions for improving institutional frameworks, mechanisms, and policies, particularly regarding FDI attraction and investment law amendments, to benefit Vietnam's development.
Now moving on to other news. At the start of the year, the government issued Resolution 01 outlining key tasks and solutions for implementing the 2025 Socio-Economic Development Plan and state budget estimates. The resolution targets a minimum of 8% GDP growth this year, with potential double-digit growth under favorable conditions. Resolution 01 presents 12 key tasks, with institutional reform designated as the breakthrough of breakthroughs to drive development. The country needs to prioritize key infrastructure projects, including inter-regional transport, urban infrastructure, digital transformation initiatives, high-speed and urban railway development, along with improved connectivity between expressways, airports, and seaports. In 2024, Vietnam achieved 7.09% GDP growth, ranking among the few countries with high growth rates globally. And this achievement creates a strong foundation for 2025, with promising indicators in consumer spending, public investment, and real estate recovery. This year, the industry and trade sector aims to increase total export value by 12 to 14%. The Industrial Production Index IIP targets growth of 9 to 10%, with a stretch goal of 12.5%. However, reaching these targets presents significant challenges.
By doubling its production line of high-quality electronic circuit boards, this factory has achieved record output. As a result, it has secured orders through the second quarter of this year.
There are many competitors, so we need to focus on improving quality rather than quantity.
Forecasts for 2025 indicate many challenges, especially stricter regulations in key markets like the EU and the US, impacting Vietnam's major export sectors.
With strong support for domestic production, the U.S. will likely continue considering tariffs on imports. Vietnamese businesses should focus on sustainability, social responsibility, and diversifying product design.
To overcome challenges, key industries in Vietnam also propose that the government maintain favorable policies.
The on-spot import and export policy streamlines operations. When a customer purchases goods and requests domestic delivery, two domestic enterprises can work directly with each other.
Restructuring the industrial sector is key to driving fundamental change. This year, the government will focus on enhancing the competitiveness of industries with strategic advantages.
Now, in just 2 days, Ho Chi Minh City's Metro Line 1 will begin commercial operations and implement passenger fares following its 30-day free travel period. Single-trip tickets will range between 24 cents and 80 cents, with prices varying for cash or electronic payments. Monthly passes will be available for $11.8, and students can receive a 50% discount. The Urban Railways No. 1 company will continue training staff in passenger communication and will increase personnel during peak hours to ensure a safe, convenient experience for all riders. Now let's move on to the weather forecast. And that's all the news we have for this hour. To rewatch our program, you can download our mobile app VTVgo or check out our YouTube channel VTV4Go. Thank you for watching and see you next time.